Hey Kings and Dragons, Dragon King 551 here, and we're doing Cobra Kai Season 6 Part 1 review video. Before I start, this will contain spoilers for episode 1 to 5. If you guys have not watched it yet, please click off it. Again, this will contain spoilers before I get into it. Please respect that. There'll also be a disclaimer in the beginning before the intro talking about that there is no spoiler-free video here. This is not spoiler-free. It will contain spoilers. With that being said, let's get into it. So let's talk about episode 4 and episode 5 momentarily. Let's talk about the previous stuff. So what happens is that Johnny really wants like Tori and Sam because it seems like they've lost their edge in a way and stuff. So he hosts like a slumber party to get them into the back into their relationship, but it brings them closer together. Instead of them fighting, they actually hug each other and get closer in a happy relationship. The same way Miguel and Robbie is. Now what happens is that Miguel's apartment pipes burst and stuff. So now Johnny is actually looking for a legitimate job of getting credit and stuff. And what does he do? He actually goes and works at LaRusso Auto, which is hilarious and stuff. So now he proves himself. He actually sells a car and everything. And also Johnny is going to have a daughter. I kind of suspected that. I predicted it. With that being said, pretty much nothing really happens in the other episodes. Chosen's kind of funny. He goes back to Okinawa and stuff. But there really isn't a lot of stuff that goes on in those first 3 episodes. Not a lot of stuff and a lot of drama going on with that. But now we go into episode 4 and we go into episode 5. So in episode 4, we find out where they're choosing. Now, honestly, I personally thought it was going to be Japan, just to have like that Cobra Kai home field advantage type atmosphere, because that's where Sensei Kim's students are and Kreese's students are, but we didn't get that, so they chose Barcelona, Spain. I don't know how they came out with that selection. I guess it's fine to choose a neutral site for once. But yeah, unfortunately for the Saikai Taikai, I don't really like the concept that went with it. This is why Barnes was in episode 4, because they wanted a non-biased selection and stuff, because unfortunately only 6 fighters are allowed in the competition, which is kind of disappointing and everything, because I guess that means there's going to be a girls and guys division just like in the All Valley, but at the same time it is kind of disappointing to have that atmosphere and stuff and everything else in that episode, because you only get a certain amount of fighters and everything. And, you know, I like it. I also like the relationship with Kenny and Anthony and stuff, where they have become more of friends. Sean came out of college. I'm sorry, not out of college. Came out of juvie and kind of set Kenny on the right path to set him, you know, go back to karate and stuff. And then it seemed like Kyler's not even going to be involved whatsoever, because now he's already in college and stuff. But yeah, I like how there's not a bias thing where, you know, Johnny doesn't try to make selections and Daniel doesn't. It's more about Barnes and stuff. But I think that when you look at it, it is kind of insulting to just have 6 fighters. There should be alternates and stuff. Ultimately, this is my lineup of my 6 top fighters and then my alternates. Obviously, the 6 should be Tori, Sam, and Devin. Remember, there are no other girl fighters anymore. There is no Piper or Aisha. There's not like a top fighter anymore like Sam fought in the All Valley in season 4. The top 3 women fighters are Devin, Tori, and Sam. So it makes sense to have Sam here and then have Tori there and then have, you know, Devin as the 3rd best fighter. And then your male best fighters with your alternates would be Dimitri and Kenny as your alternates for the males. And then your top 3 fighters are obviously Miguel, Hawk, and Robbie, who are all on an even playing field and stuff. Now, as we go into it, Devin did cheat against Kenny. I guess she really wanted it and stuff. To put Dimitri over Hawk is kind of disappointing. I guess both of them get to go to the Saikai Taikai, but at the end of the day, it should have been Hawk, and this is why Johnny and Daniel are like at each other's throats. Johnny fought to get um to from Barnes to look at Devin more closely and stuff, but it was kind of stupid and everything. Um, but now let's talk about 5, the Fallout episode. So Kreese tries to recruit Tori and stuff and everything, and she says no and wants to keep it back and stuff, and it's just like all they have is karate now and stuff because Tori and Robbie are basically not going to college, I guess, because of the juvie and all of that aspects. The other thing here is that with Robbie in his mind going into the 5th episode is now it's between the top 4 fighters, which are Sam, Tori, Robbie, and Miguel. Of those top 4 who get to choose who gets to be captain. So the best way to do it, they have they have the All Valley type atmosphere. Obviously, Tori even says it doesn't count because my title was tainted and everything. So what happens is that in Robbie's mind, he kept saying second place, second place, second place. He wasn't happy with it. Miguel wanted it because he wanted to get into college and help with Stanford because he got deferred and stuff, which means a waiting list and everything. But ultimately, I think that he wanted it, but he still gets to go to the Saikai Taikai and compete on a high stage. Now, I don't know how it's going to work, but I really liked how Barnes kept these other events because there might be team events as well. But with that saying, the captain event. Before I continue with the captains and talking about Tori and Sam and all of that mumbo jumbo and everything, let me just state this. What Daniel said is what people really need to listen to more closely. Daniel stated if Miyagi-Do gets that far into the champion, gets that far in the whole tournament, Robbie and Sam are going to fight in the championship round for male and female. That means that there is no going to be no first rounds for Sam and Robbie. There's not going to be a quarterfinal for them. There's not going to be a semifinal for them. There's only going to be the championship. Just like Daniel did in 1985 when he fought Mike Barnes. That is what's going to happen. People keep saying, oh, Robbie's going to get injured and Miguel's going to take over and stuff. No, he's not. But anyway, moving right back into it. So people need to listen more carefully. That is what the captain spot means. As a captain, you get a fight in the championship round. So Robbie and Miguel fight more closely now, and I like how they did this fight because even though some people are going to say, oh, it's plot armor, bullcrap and stuff, whatever, fine. Because a lot of people like Kenny are not in it. But I like this fight because it shows both of them at their healthiest, fighting in a legitimate 3v3. Now remember, Johnny in the past was down 2-0 against Daniel in the final match in the All Valley and came back at, almost completing the comeback at 2-2, but lost. Robbie did the same thing, and Robbie is Johnny's son, so it makes sense for Johnny, it makes sense for Robbie to come back because he is his father's son, and it would make sense for Robbie to be down 2-0. I don't care about that whole entire thing where people are like, oh, he's buff because he saw his girl coming. Now, before I get into the Tori and Sam fight and everything, I think Kreese killed Tori's mother because you see her fist closed and everything, and Kreese really wanted Tori on his team and stuff, and what Tori's mother said is, we fight for ourselves and stuff. It's time to learn how to fight for themselves. And, everything else. So it's possible that Kreese could have killed her mother with a blood clot or something. I don't know how he could create a blood clot, but definitely something along the lines of that ultimately could have happened. So we get into the Tori and Sam fight, and Sam says she just wants closure for herself the same way Tori does because the fight was tainted. So now they get a fight one final time, but Tori's mind is not in the right headspace. Johnny tries to tell Daniel that when my mother died, I liked going on the fight, and Daniel says it's not the right time and stuff because rage will blind you. And it was because Tori was starting to fight dirty in a way and start fighting with anger and trying to hurt Sam. Sam was already up 2-1. It was most likely Sam was going to have to win. I said it time and time again, gotta be Robbie, gotta be Sam, because their legacy matters and stuff. You can't just keep keeping them out of the legacy and shutting the door on them and saying, hello, can we get LaRusso and Lawrence finally a win here for them to both be champions and stuff. So we'll see what happens in the next couple of parts. My review for this is I would give it an 8 out of 10 because the first 3 episodes were just kind of basic and slow build-up. But we'll see what happens in the next couple of episodes. I got nothing more to say about this Cobra Kai review. The heartbreak with like Tori and stuff, and then her going to Cobra Kai and switching and making a deal with the devil and stuff. Understand that she's not in the right headspace, so she's not making the right decisions with her anger and stuff. But yeah, I mean, everything else. I also wanted to talk about Mr. Miyagi before I end this. I like how Mr. Miyagi was, doing the right things for the wrong reasons, or doing the wrong things for the right reasons, or doing the right things for the right reasons, doing the wrong things for the wrong reasons. I like that it shows that Mr. Miyagi was not fully good and stuff. He did something terrible in his past and stuff by robbing someone. I also like when Daniel is putting the headband on Sam and finds out Mr. Miyagi fought in the Saikai Taikai. Now, I think he's a little frightened because you see blood on the old headband of Mr. Miyagi. So he's frightened for Sam to compete in the final match and stuff if they fight dirty and everything. But that's the end of, part 1 and stuff of season 6. So let me know your thoughts on it if you guys have watched it. I don't know what more to say. But it has to be Sam and Robbie as my winners. Until next time, guys, don't forget to stay radical. I'll see you in the next one. Hit that like button, smash that subscribe button, and I'll see you in the next one.